Well, I finally made it. I arrived in Hollywood, and boy, is it ever something. Movie stars, sunshine, all kinds of sights to see. Say, tell Elsie Crack I even seen her idol, Rin Tin Tin. Oh, but by far the most swinging place of all is, well, suppose I begin at the beginning. Mama, that's me. I'm right at the entrance, just ready to take the tour, you know. And this pretty little girl, she's one of many of the little hostesses that help you out. She's got me by the arm now. She's gonna take me on the tour. Yeah, now here we go. We're just ready to get on the tour and see everything. Oh, it's just a wonderful day, and the kids around here are just having a ball. Now here we are, Mama. We're heading out for the back lot, and we're riding on one of them comfortable, beautiful trams that you ride on. That's San Fernando Valley, all of it. See all those houses over there in the mountains and everything? It says here in the book that Universal is the biggest motion picture studio in the whole world. Ain't that something? You believe so if you was here. That's me. I'm pointing my finger there. You know what I'm pointing at? That's an imitation dam. And you just push a button, and 1,000,000 gallons of water comes over that all day long. You know who that is coming up? Yeah, sure you do, Mama. That's Edith Head. She's designed costumes for some of the biggest pictures and biggest stars in the business. Yeah, I tried to get her to design you a dress, Mama. She can't do it. They don't have any flour sacks out here. Now, Mama, the next place we visited was Lana Turner's dressing room. Well, really, it's not a dressing room. It's a little house. It's bigger than our house back in Mount Ida. Yeah, she's got everything, a kitchen and everything else there. This one woman here, she went right over and sat right down, just big as brass. Sat right down on her sofa. I never seen so many people having so much fun in all of my life, except Mount Ida on the 3rd of July. Well, sir, I want to tell you, people were there from all over the world. I found out later that little fella's daddy was using a camera made in Fresno. Next, they took us into a studio and selected a couple of people right out of our group and had them do a love scene right in front of a real live camera.
I'd like to know where we're going.
Don't worry, we'll find out in a minute.
Well, where are we going?
Just a couple minutes, we'll be there.
Well, hurry up, or where are we going?
We're there now.
Oh, you take so long. What are you doing? What are you doing? No. What are you doing? Please, no. No, no. Don't. Don't. Come on now, please. Now, cut it out. Come on, let's start driving. Now, come on, please. Stop that, please.
Then they played it back so we all could see it.
We're there now.
Oh, you take so long. What are you doing? What are you doing? No. What are you doing? Please, no. No, no. Don't. Don't.
Meanwhile, back on the bus, they took us down to Wall Street. Now, this ain't the Wall Street where they sell stocks and bonds, you know. This is where they keep all the walls. All the walls they use in all the TV and movies, you know. They had brick walls, they had wood walls, they had stone walls. I believe old Stonewall Jackson was there. I made that up, Mama. That's our guide, Maurice, and he's pointing over to where they're making a real honest-to-goodness motion picture. I watched him for a couple of minutes, then I did a little looking around on my own. And guess what, Mama? I almost walked right by a girl you see in the movies all the time, Barbara Anderson. I didn't recognize she had on this black wig, you know. Yeah, and she was so nice to me, and we talked and talked, you know. She said to say hello to you. Yeah. Meanwhile, back on the bus, the guide told us that this was their European street, and I believed him, because you feel like you're right in the middle of Europe. I even thought I seen Sophie Loren looking out of one of them windows. Now we're heading into my favorite kind of a street. They call it their Western Street. And listen, Mama, if you listen real close, you can almost hear the boys riding into town. But seriously, Mama, we did see a couple of actors doing a real movie fight. You know, Mama, I was just thinking, this isn't so hard. I could do it myself. I'm a good enough actor. Why, I could get out there and fight like they do. I can just see myself now, just like Hoot Gibson. I'm coming out of the sheriff's office there, and I give old Pete a little pat, you know, and I walk out in the middle of the street because I'm waiting for the bad man. And all of a sudden, and then I saw him. Black Bart. I looked him right in the eye. I was going to stare him down. And then... Oh, no. Help! Help! Meanwhile, back on the bus, we rounded another turn, and they was making another movie. Mama, I want to tell you, this is the only way to find out what's going on behind the scenes when they make movies. I'll give you 3 guesses who I ran into next. No, it wasn't Gilmore Fitch. No, not Ludlow Bean. No, it wasn't Grandpa Hogg. No, it was Darren McGavin. Yeah, you wonderful fella. He asked about you. Yeah, send you his love. Anyhow, after a wonderful lunch in the studio commissary, I bought myself a little goodie, and I went for a little walk before I had to get back on the tram. All of a sudden, I turned in this little side street, and there it was, Raymond Burr's dressing room. You remember Tony Francioso? I knew you would, yeah. Well, I peeked into his dressing room to see if he was there. He wasn't. Everybody loves somebody sometime. Don't have to tell you whose dressing room that was, eh, Mama? Yeah. You know, I was just beginning to think that nobody ever stays in their dressing room. And all of a sudden, there he was. Tapped me right on the shoulder. Robert Wagner. Yeah, he just finished a picture called Winning. It's all about race cars and race car drivers and things. And he was all dressed up to do a soldier boy picture. I invited him back to Mount Ida. I told him I'd even get him a date with Elsie Crack. He said he was sorry, but his contract was for 20 years and he just couldn't get out of it to come back there. Wonder what he meant by that, Mama. Anyway, he's a wonderful young fella, just wonderful. Meanwhile, back on the bus, we saw some sights I just can't wait to tell you about. Why, we passed right by the house that Albert Hitchcock used in Psycho. Oh, it was a spooky place. And we also saw the bridge where they made Sweet Charity. A part of it was made there, you know. I tell you, it's just like seeing all your favorite movies all over again. Well, sir, before we knew it, there we were in a place you wouldn't believe. They call it Plaza. I never seen such a big checkerboard. And enormous scissors. And all these things were used in a movie called Incredible Shrinking Man. No, Mom, I don't mean Wallace Swine. This is another Incredible Shrinking Man. looks like the three Ogg sisters and Bryce. There I am again, Mama. Now, you probably think I'm on a real stagecoach. You probably think I'm going about 60 miles an hour. You think that, huh? Just watch. Uh-oh, there's Birdie Rod. Wonder what she's wearing her fur coat for. You know, Mama, the kids have a ball out here. They got more things for kids to do than you'd ever believe. For instance, now take a look at this. And there's the jail wagon they used in the Virginian. And there's the Virginian himself, James Drury, the one in the red shirt, the middle. Meanwhile, back on the bus, I had a nice long talk with the tour guide. And she told me that sometimes they have as many as 11,000 people a day. 1 million people a year visit Universal Studio Tour. And guess who the first person was I saw when I got inside? You're right, Frankenstein. How'd you guess it, Mama? He's nothing like I thought he'd be. He's much taller and a little uglier, too. But he's just as nice as pie. And he's so wonderful with little kids. Anyway, Mama, just as I was on my way over to the puppet show, I thought I seen Ludlow Bean. Well, I went up to him and I started talking and I told him a joke or two. He didn't even laugh. And then we talked some more. That is, I talked. He didn't do nothing. He just stood there, you know. And all of a sudden, he wanted to shake hands with me. Well, he shook hands and it come right off. And he was awful cold. So I just left him to his own devices. Walked right away from him. I still wasn't late for the puppet show, though. Well, sir, after the puppet show, I ran into one of them pretty little tour guides, and she showed me around some more. That there's Terry Wilson. He's a fellow that was on wagon trains. Oh, there's the Gumerson children from Dank, Michigan. Here's the Ohio State cheerleading group. And there's Clara Kimball Moots and her 2 boys. That's me. Then we went to a place where the ladies learn how the movie stars get made up. Only this time they tried it on the little Gummerson boy. But one of the biggest treats of all is the Ma and Pa Kettle Farm. Here all the little kids and their moms and dads have the time of their life. You can feed the animals right out of your hand. You can pet them and love them if you want to. Some little city kids have never seen animals like this. They don't quite know what to do. Anyway, before we knew it, the man who had trained all the birds for Alfred Hitchcock's movie, The Birds, was starting the show.
I'm sure all of you do realize how completely unnatural it is for any kind of a bird to lie on its back. Well, we'd like you to watch and notice the great confidence this bird has in Clint. And she's learning to say thank you. She's learning to say her prayers. Now, would you believe she stands on her head? How about a real nice hat from Mr. Clint Mellon? Thank you, Clint. Everybody says a cat cannot be trained. Well, we think they can. Now watch how this one responds to this sound. This little clicker is what we use to work them with in a film. And there he is. His name is Hot Rod. Run upstairs, Hot Rod, inside the room. Now on cue, jump through the window. Right through the window, back down through the gate. And now send her pussycat. Is he all right? This is a raven, and he can fly like you wouldn't be able to believe. But he's no longer a villain. He's the same one you see in the Munster television series, McHale's Navy, Gomer Pyle, Daniel Boone. He just finished a Walt Disney production entitled Inky, the Incredible Crow, and right now he's working with Lassie. And he's very, very friendly. He'll stand right on your arm if you'll hold your arm out, okay? That's it. Oh, come on back here. Leave the corn alone. That's for the duck. Now, if we want him to go to someone in the distance, here's the way we do it. Just point him in the right direction and say, kill. Very good, young lady. Well, she had a little bite of food in her hand. The bird went right to her for the food. However, we can send him to a person by just making a motion of the hand, a hand signal. We'd like to demonstrate. Sir, would you help us? Would you stand up right where you are and bend your arm in front of you just like that? Make it low down. We'll make it work for it. Now, watch for your signal. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I gave him the wrong signal. Thank you very much. Look at the kisser on this guy, boy. Look at that. Make a fortune doing cigarette commercials, wouldn't it?
We're going to explain to you now how we work Jake in front of a motion picture camera. Keep in mind, Jake is just a little bit less than 3 years old. We are never seen or heard. The director usually tells us what he wants Jake to do. We'll tell Jake, believe it or not, by giving him a hand signal. To give you an example, if he would want Jake to lie down, he would signal Jake such as this, or to sit, or to stand up. Now, he must know his right from his left. Notice how closely he watches his trainer. It's not necessary to speak a word. Stay and crawl. And he's wounded. He's been clubbed by the bad man. Backing up. His right front leg now is broken. He's been shot. And then up on the crate and a pretty sit-up in conclusion. Now, that's the way it's done with hands. Thank you. You're very gracious.
Okay, I left my hat up there in the playhouse. Run up and get it. All the way up there, Jaker. Go up there inside the house, pick up my hat. Bring it here. Jake, bring it here. Come on, bring it. Jake, what have you got, Jake? I got to go on back up there. You should be ashamed of yourself. Thank you. Now, we're going to show you
the main ingredient of the stuntman's work, which is the fight scene. But before we actually do the fight scene for you, we want to show you what to look for during the fight, because obviously we try not to really hit each other. So we find that it is more realistic if we punch sideways to the camera lens rather than straight at it or straight away from it. Somehow on film it looks more realistic. So we're going to assume the camera is right here in the center. You people on the end will be able to see the misses. However, Eric and Joe, if you'd square away at each other, Eric will throw a couple of punches at Joe to show you the way he would if the camera were beside him. And if you watch carefully, he'll actually be punching past Joe's face, and he'll probably miss him. At least Joe hopes he will, anyway. If you want to get the camera's eye viewpoint, close one eye, because the camera only has the one lens. It doesn't have the depth perception that we have. Okay, are you all set now? Hold it. Joe, listen, I want them to close one eye. You keep both eyes open, because if he really hits you, it would hurt. Okay, Eric, would you do it in slow motion just in case? All right, quiet on the set. Action! You notice Eric doesn't close his fist all the way. That's a safety factor. Now, that leaves Joe open and ready for the stomach punch. I could hear that one. I forgot to mention one thing about the stomach punch. You can't miss on that one. You've really got to get body contact or it isn't any good at all, but that gives the stuntman a chance to do some acting. Joe, do you want to suffer for us? Oh, suffer, suffer, suffer. I wish you wouldn't laugh. He wrote that all himself. By the way, if you want to get any pictures over that side, get them now. That's his best side. That leaves him ready for the John Wayne haymaker. Very good. Thank you, gentlemen. That gives you an idea of what to look for during the fight scene. All right, quiet on the set, please. Roll the cameras. Action! Watch for the face kick. A kick in the ribs. Very good. And cut. Now, that's the way they... no, fellas. Cut means stop. Cut, fellas. No, fellas. Fellas! Son of a gun, you do get mean enough for both of you. I think that's a good fight, don't you? I'd print that one. All right. Action.
Now watch this careful, Mama. If you want to see how this comes out, Mama, you'll just have to come out here and take the tour. I'll write you again next week. Your loving son, Charles.